This crow wants to kill itself. It jumps into a well, but just then, a little girl spots it. She uses a wooden bucket to fish the crow out, only to fall right into its trap. Suddenly, the crow comes back to life and violently flaps its wings at her. Black mud splashes onto her face, and as the crow flies away, something terrifying happens. Her facial features disappear. She tries to scream, but no sound comes out. The commotion quickly alerts the nearby villagers. Right after, a black mud monster climbs out of the well and crashes to the ground. It grows 2 eyes and starts hopping menacingly behind the girl, even trying to take over her body. The villagers grab a shotgun and blast the monster into pieces. A woman tries to rescue the girl, but the monster reassembles itself effortlessly. The woman chops it in half with a knife. But the monster just won't die. It stretches out its long arms, stuffs the girl into its body, and then leaps back into the well. This is already the 11th girl to go missing in the town. The residents suspect a witch is behind it, so they call in the famous Grimm Brothers, Jake and Will. At night, the exorcism ceremony begins. Inside a mysterious box are a bottle of newborn baby tears and 5 needles. They're tools to defeat the witch. They draw a pentagram on the ground, but suddenly a chilling wind sweeps through the room, and the animals go wild. The group prepares to fight, but the witch attacks from behind. The terrified villagers flee into the pigsty, while the brothers, under the witch's control, manage to strike her heart. The witch, vulnerable to the pure tears of a baby, disintegrates into thick smoke. The villagers celebrate, but as soon as they leave, the witch reappears. What's going on? Turns out the Grimm brothers are frauds. The witch was just an actor they hired, and the whole exorcism was a scam. They spend their ill-gotten money on food and drinks. But one night, they're captured by a group of strangers. The general has taken notice of the town's missing girls and wants to pin the blame on the brothers. Under pressure, Jake and Will agree to investigate and find the real witch. They arrive in the town and meet their guide, Angelica. Everyone in the village thinks Angelica is cursed. Years ago, her father disappeared in the forest. She leads them deep into the forest, where they find a tall tower. Angelica explains that the witch was once a queen who built the tower to escape the bubonic plague. But the plague spread through the air, infecting her and rotting her beauty, turning her into the monster she is now. To regain her beauty, the witch uses magic to control a hunter, a tree monster, and a crow to capture girls from the town. She believes that by drinking the blood of 12 girls on the night of the blood moon, she can reclaim her power. One day, a girl dressed as Little Red Riding Hood is picking mushrooms in the forest when she hears a wolf's howl. She drops her basket and runs, but the wolf catches her. When the villagers found her, all they saw was his red cloak hanging from a tree. Gretel, determined to find Little Red Riding Hood, heads into the woods with her brother Hansel. They drop breadcrumbs along the way to avoid getting lost. But while crossing a river, Gretel suddenly loses her way. A branch reaches out from behind her, snatching her scarf. The scarf, almost like it's magic, floats upstream, leading Gretel into a cave. She pulls the scarf off the wall and suddenly, poisonous insects swarm out. A monster, waiting in the shadows, appears. As night falls, the Grimm brothers decide to head back to the village. But someone feeds spiders to their horse. Later, the horse starts acting strange. A girl checks on it with a kerosene lamp, only to get tangled in spider silk. The horse swallows her whole and bolts into the forest. Angelica and the brothers chase after it but are blocked by moving trees. A wild wolf appears in front of Angelica, but it doesn't attack. The trio escapes the forest, but the general is furious. Not only is there no progress, but another girl is missing. He decides to execute them, but Jake's smooth talking buys them one last chance. Back in the forest, to figure out what's going on, Jake pulls out his scientific equipment, trying to detect any traps in the forest. But they find nothing. The group decides to head to the tower. The Grimm brothers suspect the missing children are hidden there. They gear up and prepare to climb. 2 big guys give Jake a boost, throwing him up the tower, but he slams into the wall and falls back down. Will, panicking, rushes up to check, only to find a wooden dummy. Totally wasted effort. Just then, Jake walks over, completely fine. Will, furious, punches him. But there's no time to waste. They've got work to do. Jake climbs the tower using a rope. When he looks down, he's shocked to see that the roof is made of dozens of coffins. Inside the tower, he finds a magic book and learns the secret of the blood moon. He also sees the witch lying on a bed. Meanwhile, Will finds the missing girl floating in water. As he tries to rescue her, a wolf appears and transforms into a werewolf. The werewolf grabs the girl, planning to sacrifice her to the witch. The werewolf places the girl inside a stone coffin and puts a pair of crystal shoes on her feet. With a small needle, he pricks her gently, then orders the crow to pour her blood into the witch's mouth. Instantly, the witch comes back to life. Jake is terrified and tries to escape, but a mirror blocks his path. Suddenly, a stunningly beautiful woman appears in the mirror. It's the witch, using an illusion to control Jake. She tempts him to stay and become king. Jake, though a bookworm, can't resist her beauty. Just then, Will throws a rock into the tower, shattering the mirror.
Look at me, Jacob!
Jake snaps out of the trance, grabs the witch by her hair, and jumps from the top of the tower, landing right on the werewolf. Meanwhile, Will stares at a toad in his hand and, bizarrely, licks it. The toad then points him in the right direction. The brothers return to the village with the girl and tell the villagers the truth about the witch, but no one believes them. Suddenly, the general arrives and arrests the brothers for fraud, tying them up and leaving them in the forest. The general plans to burn down the entire forest, but Angelica arrives just in time to save Jake and Will. The wild wolf appears again, transforming into the werewolf. To Angelica's shock, the werewolf is her long-lost father, now under the witch's control. He seals Angelica in water and takes her back to the tower. Jake realizes that Angelica is the 12th girl the witch needs. Inside the tower, the witch slowly rises and exhales a foul breath, extinguishing the forest fire. The werewolf places Angelica in the stone coffin and drains her blood. With the crow's help, he flies straight back to the tower. The full moon begins to turn red as the witch drinks the blood of the 12 girls. Under the blood moon's light, she regains her former beauty. Meanwhile, the brothers, now under the witch's control, turn their knives on each other. In a desperate move, Will sacrifices himself to save Jake. The witch, however, takes a liking to Will's appearance. She pulls a magical nail from the werewolf's body and drives it into Will's chest, turning him into her slave.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Seeing this, Jake grabs an axe and smashes the enchanted mirror. The witch's face shatters into pieces. Angelica's father, now free from the witch's control, grabs a large shard of the mirror and jumps out of the window to save his daughter. Will tries to stop him but ends up falling with him. As the mirror is destroyed, the witch vanishes and the tower begins to collapse. Jake, hiding under a bed, survives the rubble. In the end, Jake wakes Angelica with a kiss, and all the missing girls regain consciousness. Meanwhile, Will comes back to life thanks to Angelica's true love's kiss. With the brothers' help, they return to their families. Jake and Will become true demon-hunting brothers and even consider starting a new venture, possibly writing fairy tales. This film is called The Brothers Grimm. Monica Bellucci plays the evil queen, a character both stunning and captivating. The story is inspired by the Grimm Brothers, set against the backdrop of Napoleon's invasion of Germany. It weaves together elements from fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood and Cinderella into a thrilling adventure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.